Hello guys, welcome to this breadboard lesson. Today we're going to be talking about the breadboard, and things I'm going to be talking about in this lesson is I'm going to talk about what is the breadboard, what it's used for, and then I'm going to talk about how to use it, and then I'm going to talk about how to hook up a socket with it. Basically to show you how to, use it, how to make projects with it. So I'm going to start with showing you what it's useful. Okay, so here we are, and this is a breadboard right here. And so basically, what a breadboard is used for is it's for hooking up sockets and like multiple things that you want. It's very high in the electronic community. It's very used in the electronic community because that's how people learn. They first learn these, just plug an LED in there and plug something else in there, and just start building projects with a breadboard. That's the first thing how you learn is with the breadboard. And so basically you can hook anything you want on a breadboard. You just hook that, you just hook it to that, it's simple. But so it's used to make projects and stuff like that. But a lot of people are like, okay, well, how can I build a breadboard? How can I build a socket on a breadboard? How I need to know how to use it first. And so that's what I'm going to explain here. So that's what I'm going to explain now. Okay, so now the first thing is I'm going to explain about a breadboard is I'm going to explain about, you see all of these holes right here. They're all over the place. You're like, okay, how does it work here? So basically, see these rows of holes. All these holes are connected. Okay, all these holes are connected with a piece of metal that's inside it. It's connecting all these holes. But the next line down, next row down, is not connected to this row. This row is not connected to this row. They aren't connected. This row is not connected to this row. And over here, as you see, this big ditch all the way down to the breadboard. All this row right here, it's not connected to this row over here. So these two rows are not connected. This row is not connected with this row. And this row is not connected to this row down here. And this row is not connected to this row. And this row right here still is not connected to this row. And it's all the way down. This one's not connected to this one. All this one. It's just in rows, not like this. Down. That's not how it goes. No, it's like this. Connected like this. It's not connected like this. It's connected like this. These all holes are connected. This hole is not connected to these holes. Hopefully you understand that. But now we're going to be talking about these rails on the side here. This rail right here, all these rows down here, it works quite opposite than these rows right here, how they only connected like this, and the next line down is not connected to this row right here. This line down is not connected to that row. All these lines right here are all connected. They're all connected. All of them are connected. But the next row down, they aren't connected to this row. This row is not connected to this row. Okay? And it's basically, it's connected all the way down, but it's not connected to this row. Okay? This row is connected all the way down, but it's not connected to this row. Right here. Hopefully I understand that. And the same over here too. This is for power, just in case if you have power on your breadboards. Like, you may have this small thing. This small thing doesn't have the rows on the sides of it, but it works just the same. These rows right here are not connected to this row right here. Same, it has a ditch in it too. This row is not connected to this row. And this row is not connected to this row. And that's very valuable to have, so you can hook up sockets and stuff like that. And so that's basically, but there's one more thing I want to show you. This breadboard right here has a break in between. This is a different type of breadboard. It has a break in between. See these colors, they stop and then they start again. This is a break. Basically means this row right here is not connected to this row over here. Okay? Same over here. This row right here is not connected to this row over here. But with this one, they just go all the way down. All the way down. But this one, it stopped. It goes all the way down and it stops right here. And then it starts again. So basically this has 4 channels basically. This one only has 2, but they're longer. But this one has 4, but they're small. And this is for multiple voltages. If you want multiple voltages on your breadboard, like if you want 5 volts here, you want 3 volts here, you want 2 volts here, and you want 12 volts there. You can have that if you're making a complex circuit. But for this example, this is most common here, but there can be breadboards like that. Okay, so these are the 3 breadboards that are different, and they're all a little bit different. This one's small for small projects, and this one only has 2 rails. It has 2 rails, and this one has 4 rails. They disconnect there. Hopefully that makes sense. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to use a breadboard with hooked up a socket. Things you're going to need is you're going to need a 9-volt battery. You need 2 jumper wires, blue and red. You're going to need a button, and you're going to need a 220 ohm resistor. You need, of course, an LED, and you don't need this, but this is a power supply. Basically, it's easier to hook up, you know, like, you can hook a battery right straight into a breadboard, but I like to hook it up to a power supply so good connections stay connected on the breadboard, but you don't need it. It's basically to say, you know, I don't really need this, but I'm just using it just to use it. But you just go ahead and just hook up the 2 positive and the negative wires to your breadboard. Hook up the positive one, this red one, to the red rail right here, and the black one to the blue rail, which is negative and positive. Hook the positive of the 9-volt battery to here, to this rail, and hook the negative to this rail. Okay, so I'm just gonna hook this in. I'm not gonna explain how it works or anything like that. Just know that that's what I'm doing. If my focus would focus here, there we go. Kind of got a whack there. Okay, anyways, so I'm just gonna plug this thing in. So it just plugs in like that, simple as can be. But now I have my negative on this blue rail and my positive on this positive rail. My negative on this blue rail and my positive on this positive rail. So now I have positive voltage all the way down to here, and my negative voltage all the way up here. Okay. So now first thing I'm going to do is, ouch, I'm going to hook up my positive. So hook this red pin up in there. And basically what it's going to do is it's coming from the 5 volts. All these pins are connected. It's just going to run up here. Okay? Now I haven't completed the circuit yet. Of course not. And I'll plug it right in there. There we go. So now this strip right here is connected to 5 volts, but this next line and this row and this row are not connected, but this one is. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this camera down, plug that thing in. So now 5 volts is hooked to here, but down from here it's hooked to this one too. This button, you're gonna, that's how it connects here. It also has another 4 pins, 2 pins right back here. That's just supposed to keep it supported. Also, just remember that the pins that are going in, are connected. Basically, this pin, if you put this one to 5 volts, but you don't put this one to 5 volts, this one would be still hooked to 5 volts. It will automatically connect to 5 volts. But these, when you press the button, these two will be connected to 5 volts. So I don't want to confuse y'all too much, but that's how that is. The pins that are going in are the ones that are basically connected to each other. So there we go. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my resistor in. My 220 ohm resistor. Okay. And now I'm just going to hop one row over. So now, positive voltage come down here, coming up this wire, coming down over here. It's coming to this rail, coming to this thing, and stopping here until I press the button, and then it is going to come over to this rail right over here, and it's going to hook the whole entire rail with 5 volts. Then it's going to jump over this resistor because it's hooked to the same rail, to the same row, and now this row is hooked to the 5 volts with the resistor. And so now I hooked the LED. Make sure the LED is the long pin that goes to 5 volts. I'll put it right there. There we go. So now it comes down. Now this row is connected, and I connected the 5 volts here, which is going to go up the LED, which is going to go to ground and go here. Now I'm going to hook ground. Okay, one last time I'm going to explain this here. So it comes off this power supply, comes running down here, comes up here. The power comes up here, then it comes to this row right here. Comes to this button, sits here till someone presses the button, and then it hooks this row right here. It's connected to 5 volts now, and then it comes across this resistor, which then connects to the LED, because right back there you see the resistor comes over here, connects to the LED, comes down, comes over here, and comes over here. See, the same rail travels right here, comes up, and comes over here to the negative side and runs back to the negative of the power supply. So now I'm going to connect this in. If I can. There we go. My light turns on, but nothing happens over here until I press the button, and boom. There we go. There's that little simple project for y'all guys. Hopefully you understand that. If you did, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel. Goodbye.